Oh, hello. Hi, hi. Hey, Instagram. Oh my god. Hello, 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 hello. It's Holistic HHWH, Holistic Health and Harry here today. Um, what date is it today, guys? Today's a Sunday, 2010th of December, 2020. 2020 is nearly done, right? Getting a bit hot. 2020 is nearly done, and here we are. End of the year. Everyone's been doing loads of work, and everyone's deserved what they've got this year in terms of growth, power, potential, pow. Everyone's put in the work. We all have, and become those amazing, awesome human beings. What a tough year it's been. What a tough year it's been on an individual level for each of us, right? This year, but also collectively, not just individually. Has it been a tough year? And my God, that's like really hard for an individual to go through the tough shit we've been. But what a time it's been collectively. What with the COVID, all these kind of things, it's been really tough. It's been a really tough times. So, respect to everyone for going through what you've been going through this year. Mad respect to you. I hope to connect with you and to get to know you guys better. This is as many people as possible on the Instagram that I don't know very well, because a lot of you I don't know on a deeper level. But today we're going to do an interview with my boy Frank, a really special interview actually. I know he's requested to join. Give me a second, Frank, whilst I just tell him a little bit about yourself. From what I know about you, Frank is an awesome human being that's come on my Instagram for a while now, and he's fasting currently. And actually, do you know what? I'm not even going to spoil the shit, but let me tell you, this is a very special guest, and he's got a lot of info. Any of the people I bring on for you guys is going to have special info for you. And they do more hardcore shit than me. That includes fasting on urine, juices for longer than I've ever done. Just to know what's possible. I love reaching out to people that do the things that I'm shocked and surprised and have such willpower, as Frank will show you. I think he's fasting now. He's done it for a long time on just urine. He'll fill you in on the details. And this is the first time connecting with him. Sometimes on Instagram, but it's the first time live. I just accepted. Let's see if he can join us and let him talk and share his story on fasting, the power of nothing.
Yeah, Gary, I see you, man. How you doing, man?
Hey, Frank, how's it going, bro?
Hey, how's it going? How's the volume? Can you hear me all right?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I'm sure everyone, Pam's there too. Yeah, everyone can hear you, man. Everyone that's here, Pam, Sandy, Barney. Some people with us here today. So, yeah, man, we can hear you. How are you, my brother?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, man. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm still on the juices. I'm going to break tomorrow, though.
Oh, awesome.
But, yeah. But, yeah, I have a pretty interesting story. So now... Yeah, I've been wanting to do this live for a while. Like, it started off where, like, okay, so my thing is this. So I fasted on urine for 17 days. It was, like I said, it was pretty interesting. I gotta say, it wasn't anything that was planned, but like how it all started was, see, I didn't really tell this to a lot of people, but see, currently my luck ran out pretty fast. I would say in like the past like couple of months.
Yeah.
What happened was, see, like, well, to go back further, like, I lost my job in April. I live in Florida. I lost my job. I got fired because of this COVID-19 imaginary virus, what have you. And like everyone, and I had some money saved, but, I was working as a service tech in an apartment complex doing maintenance work. And I got, there were four of us, so I got laid off, and I said, you know what, I didn't even care, I said, the summer was coming, so I spent like the summer just, pretty much relaxing, and I said, I'll get another job, and one thing led to another, and I found there was no work to be found. Things got worse and worse through the summer, as you know, here in America, it was absolutely worse. And yeah, it was terrible. So I started running out of money like pretty rapidly. And so what happened was then just a couple months later, after I lost my job, I got evicted from my apartment because I couldn't pay the rent. I mean 3 months rent, I would have been broke. So I said, this is nuts. So I was living with a coworker of mine that, they took me in and said, don't worry about it. You can stay here for a while. And you know how that goes. And so I lived there for a little while, and then I had to get out, and then I didn't know where I was going to go for like so in between that, I stayed with another friend for a little while, and then one thing led to another, and then I became like, I would say probably like 4 days, no place to live. I lived in bus stations for
Right.
2 nights. Yeah, I
Mm,
lived in a forest for 2 days, and I
mm,
said I got to figure something out. So I know this lady at the grocery store that I frequent, and she said, "Listen," I told her my situation really fast. We were talking, and
mm,
she said, "Listen, Frank, you can live in my backyard." And I told her I have a tent, and she said, "You can live there." And
mm,
she said, "You could stay there as long as you want. You can lock your stuff in my garage, and you can stay there." So I was like, "Okay," I was grateful. I didn't want to do that, but
mm.
so that's what I did. So yeah, so I took her up on that, and I went down there, and I set up my tent and everything, and I was living there, and I've been there for like about 3 weeks now. It's not
What
pretty.
month was this? Was this in November? I'm trying to remember the dates here. To
Yeah,
look at it.
I started. It was like early December,
Early summer.
so that's when everything really went downhill for me, and then that's how I had to find a place to live, whatever. And
Yeah.
then I would say the first week in the tent, okay, I mean, Harry, it was getting like it wasn't fun. I mean, it was chilly out there at night. I'm in Florida, but this time of year it's cold,
Mm,
and like I said, it wasn't fun. She said, I couldn't go in the house, I was just staying in the tent, I had to do what I had to do, like I said, I had
mm,
a safe place to keep my belongings and things. So
mm,
like, so sitting there at night, I said to myself one night, I was like, okay, listen, I got two choices. Either I'm going
mm,
to sit here and sulk in my misery and wonder how I got to this point, or I'm going to try to take myself to a higher level of wellness during these hard times. So,
mm,
you know what? I woke up the next morning and I did just that. So I decided to go on a urine fast. I said, I'm going to fast on my own urine.
mm.
So,
Nice.
so how,
What do you mean?
so
You're
how,
a dirty waste product. You're a dirty,
well,
disgusting waste. You're a dirty, disgusting waste product. That's what they tell us, isn't it? You're
yeah,
gonna fast.
exactly. I said, I said, listen, I didn't have any money. So like I wasn't eating like every day that was going by. I wasn't eating every day because I was trying to save money. So, and I was eating very little. I was
Mm,
drinking juices. So I was already like used to the feeling of being hungry a lot, and getting used to how my mindset and how the sleep patterns were and stuff. And then when
mm,
I moved outside into the tent camping, it got to be a little bit more intense, So
mm,
then that's when I said, I'm going to do this. I've heard of people doing it.
mm,
I utilize urine therapy. I've been utilizing it for like almost 2.5 years now. So, every week that I do it, I discover new things. So I said,
great.
you know what, I've never done this before. So I said, I'm going to do this. And so what happened was, so the next day I just started with like I started looping like I normally would, but not every day. So the first day I just looped like the fresh, and then
Mm,
when I went into the second and third day, I started feeling like pretty hungry. So I have like a box of like 6 or 7 bottles of like evolved orange that I've been saving. I always
mm,
carry it around me. I always had a little box with always 6 or 7 little bottles from juice bottles and what have
mm.
you.
Yep. Oops.
So then
Yep.
what I did was, yeah, so how the pattern was, I would start the morning off with like with the stream first stream, and I
Hmm.
would like pretty much up to like about maybe like I would drink a lot of fresh water, right? And
Sorry.
then,
Yeah.
okay, no problem. And then I would take like one or two sips from each of the aged bottles. I would
Mm,
take a gulp of that, a gulp of this, a gulp of that, until I go to the most aged one, which was the 2-month-old, and very, very slowly take it in. And then I'll tell you this, man, I
mm,
felt like plenty of times I laid back. I was like, whoa, man. Until
mm,
like, so every day it was the same pattern. An
mm,
hour would go by, I would have to eliminate, and then everything was perfect after that. I just felt energized. I felt light, and I said,
mm,
"Wow, I'm doing this, man." And then the fourth day, I didn't even think about it. Woke up, did the same exact thing, and so on. So I
mm.
got down to like about, I really did want to drink some juice because after a while, it won't harm you, but it's irritating on the stomach, especially the age. You know that as well as I do. And
Yes.
so I said, I really did want to drink some juice and say, you know what?
Mm.
I looked at my bank account. I'm down to like $26. So I said, you know something, man? I know it's
I love
really
it. So it's like
sad.
a forced fast. Thanks for watching. So you said it's like a forced fast. Also, didn't you say that you bought your last money on you bought a fasting book with your last
Yeah,
bit of
yeah,
money?
that's
That
what
was
I did.
really
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I did. I looked at my checking account on like the fourth or fifth day, and I said
yeah,
I'm down to $26. So I went to thriftbooks.com and I
yeah.
bought a Herbert Shelton book on fasting because it was yeah. So I said, you know something, I'm not going to be eating. I have no money. I said, let me just get this book. So and I needed it to complete a series that I was collecting, and it
Mm,
was an edition that I really needed, and they had it. So I said, I'm buying it. And I spent my last $26 on this book. And
Nice.
I waited until it got shipped because every day, because I don't have an address, so it had to get shipped to the post office. So I had
Yeah.
to ride my bicycle 6 miles. That was tough to do.
Whoa.
Fasting on urine for 5 days, but I
Right.
did it, and I got the book. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
came back. And that's what I've been doing, and I've been reading. And
Mm.
I've been like getting into this, yeah. And so I went like the next, the few days after that, couple
Mm.
days out. I'm a distance runner, so I haven't really been running. I've been resting. I've been using this time to think and rest.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, though, Harry, a lot of emotions go through your head during these times. I mean,
Mm.
a lot. Yeah, I've experienced a lot of like, I guess I would say sadness, anger, depression, but all coming to the surface like really hardcore. I mean, I'm not living my best life, right now, and you start questioning,
Mm.
hey, how did I get to this point? What's going to happen? And then, but you know what? It started putting me into the present moment.
Mm.
And every day it got better and better. And now I don't even think about I'm just really feeling really good and
Yeah.
light because I haven't been eating.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, the first few days of the emotional detox was extremely intense. I
Right.
was feeling like, yeah, like you start thinking like strange things that, I mean, like I can't even tell you. I mean, nothing like just insane things, And so,
Mm.
so like I said, so some days go by and like, you know what? I
Mm.
would get up in the morning, the sun would come out. I'd
Mm.
take a breath of fresh air and say, you know what? Another day goes by, another day goes by. And so I got to like around, I got to like around this, I think it was the 16th day, and
Mm.
I needed to call on my friends and family to help me pay myself because
Mm.
I didn't have money to pay my cell phone. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this interview now.
Right.
And
And
right,
this
so
is
I had,
very recently that you did the 17 days of 16. You got to 16 day for urine, right? This is very recently, like 1 or 2 weeks ago.
that's right. It
Hmm.
started early first week in December,
And
and then
just
when I
urine,
got,
people don't know. Just to re-emphasize, you did 16 days. I don't know many people that have done 10 days, if I'm being honest, with just urine. So that's hardcore, bro. So hand clap for you for the going. Even if it was, actually, what makes it more amazing, I think, it's divinity. Like you said, you had no money. You was forced into this fast. You had tough few days, but then you rode it out and started to feel really good. So it was like you being pushed and guided to have this experience with the urine.
Yeah, that's right. I felt like I was called to it. I mean, like, because like I said, I'm taking myself, I'm not going to sit here and sit depressed. And God knows what else will come onto my mind to do. And, I'll tell you this though, Harry, I mean, I've recovered from alcohol 6 years. I haven't had a drop. And I'll tell you this, throughout this entire experience and my situation as it progressed worse and worse, I never thought once about reaching for drugs or alcohol. And I was really proud of myself because of that,
Nice.
because yeah, and because I knew I made progress in my life with that. I totally did, and that was like really, really powerful for me, and that kept me going too.
Mm.
And so, things like that. But like and then there was a time where I sat and I said to myself, you know something, man. I came to the realization that some of the most powerful men that ever walked the face of this earth didn't
Mm.
have a home, they didn't have money, they didn't have a vehicle. All right, they wore very little clothing. Okay,
Mm.
they fasted. They ate fruits and they ate herbs. And you know what? I put myself in this category at this time, especially now in this situation of my life. I'm in this category. I'm talking about guys like Jesus,
Mm.
Gandhi, Rumi, Leonardo da Vinci, Bruce
Mm.
Lee. I've been sleeping on the ground, like I sleep in a sleeping bag on the
Mm.
ground. I
Yeah.
was always a floor sleeper, and so that also helped me too. And because like I was always a floor sleeper, right?
Mm.
But you see, now that I've been sleeping in this sleeping bag in the tent, totally on the ground, no pillow, just like I roll up a shirt. So my muscular skeletal system got so strong from sleeping. Like I said, you can't, you know as well as I do that you can't
Mm-hmm.
always sleep on the ground. You don't always have the circumstances to do so. Like when I
Right.
was in a hostel, yeah, I'm in a hostel. I'm not sleeping on the floor in a hostel. I'm
No.
not sleeping on the floor in a hotel room. But like in my apartment, I had like my roommate said, hey, she goes, Frank, where's your bed? Where's your TV? Where's your sofa? I said, I don't have one. I sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. She goes, why? Yeah, this is how I've been living. I'm very minimal. So I've been so fasting on the urine and sleeping on the ground. My breathing. No, I'll tell you, Harry. I'm telling you, man. And like I
Mm.
said, since you started doing that thing with the
Mm.
holding the urine under the tongue, that was a crazy experience because it burned my tongue intensely, like unlike
Right.
ever before. But I
Adrian
know
under the
what you
tongue.
mean.
Right, Adrian
Yeah,
under the tongue.
yeah. Yeah, because I remember I recently saw that on one of your lives, and I did. I said, yeah, I never thought about doing this, and
Hmm.
I did it, and I said, wow, that like I see what you mean, how it bypasses the digestive system and goes
Yep.
right to the bloodstream. And so, and I also did. I always used to use like a sleep mask.
Hmm.
I know I always had one, you know, because I travel a lot, and I always used it for airplanes and things like this, and so I was on and off with it. So now I said, now that you emphasize so much on it, I started getting habitually into using it. So by
Nice.
the fasting, sleeping on the floor, using that, I'm like, I feel amazing, man. I'm
Yeah.
at the I'm at the
Yeah.
lowest point I've ever been. Yeah, this is the lowest
I
I've ever
mean, this
been.
is like you're getting to the point now where you're having these reference experiences that most of us will never had if we're being honest, of like just the fact that health is absolutely everything. And that's just not just a cliche that we say in the communities. You've been living that, brother, because you just had no money and you've been forced into this fast.
Yeah,
17 days of urine, now just juices for many days, and you're going to break it with fruits, which is good too, by the way, and it's still fasting. You've been forced in a situation to realize that your divinity, your energy doesn't come from having loads of money. It actually comes from health. Your happiness also comes from health. You're getting powerful references with what I'm saying. No one should feel sorry for you, really. People should be like, fuck, man, this is inspirational shit. First of all, it's
yeah,
possible to drink your waste product, and survive and
oh,
loop on
yeah.
it forever if you wanted to. And I mean, you could have gone on for more, but what you find like is it's an issue with addictions, right? Because even though you've done 17 days, you just get addicted to this idea of taste. You think you need food when you don't. I mean, you wasn't like withering away, was you? You was like thriving still.
Yeah, no, Harry. You know what? I did want to touch on that because,
Mm,
I
yes.
read a couple of books on fasting, and even in this book, I've been looking and looking. They never mention. They always tell you how long somebody fasted, the benefits that it did, but they never mention the thoughts that you have of why you go or why you break the fast. And even myself, I'm not very good at fasting. I've only
Mm,
fasted a few times. I did a couple of short water fasts. I did some juice fasts, and I find myself. I know it's an art form that really needs to be practiced, and I find myself. I'm not very good at it. And I'll tell you the reason what makes me always break all the time is that like I always think that the fruit or the food is not going to be there or I'm going to miss out on something. And that's what
right.
like I go into the grocery and like we're in the height of citrus season now, right? And they have
Mm,
all this fresh squeezed tangerine juice and it's all unpasteurized and you know and things like that. And I say, wow, you know, I'm going to fast for another 10 days, but wait a minute, the juice is not going to be there. And that's what makes me break. I always think I'm going to miss out on, oh my God, look at all
right.
these ripe papayas. They're not going to be there next week. I gotta get them. And they never tell you that mindset in these books. But
Mm,
I've realized it from being so clear that this is what it is. You know what, Harry? I talked myself out of it. I've made another level of, I'm going to get better at fasting because you know what it is? The food is always going to be there. The juice is
yes.
going to be there. Yeah, it's your mind, it's your brain saying this because it's so used to eating and consuming. But I'll
Yep.
tell you this, Harry, I really learned. They always say this, but I've discovered even deeper than anything. There is nothing that we need from an external source that will heal and nourish us inside. Absolutely nothing.
Or
And I'm convinced. And like I said, I've been doing this and I feel amazing. And you know, like I said, even the emotions have gone away. Like I'm at the lowest point I've ever been. I feel like I'm going to be okay. I mean, some days, you know, a little bit in my mind, I say, oh, how long is this going to go on for? Is something going to break? You know, am I
mm,
going to find work? I mean, I'm not really into working, but I got to figure out some way to earn some income and do something. But I just know something's going to come my way, you know? I mean, like, you know,
trust in the
you know,
universe. You're trusting in the
yeah,
universe, just like you
yeah,
trust the fast and you go through. Did you
yeah.
go through a lot of emotions? You said you got through emotions for the fasting because I found when I do longer fasts, I go through massive dips that really put you in a sucky low position for quite a while there, and you think it's going to last forever. And I've learned from fast too. We are creatures of emotion, right? So when
Oh,
we
yeah.
go through these dips because we're toxins are coming out from the fast and we're going deep into them, it kind of sucks, bro. I mean, I've been there, and I'm sure you've had it way worse than me. It just kind of sucks, and you think you're going to be like this dip forever, and it's really annoying. You think like, oh shit. You realize at that point your reality is affected by your consciousness and your emotions at that level. And these fasting dips are very real. Did you find them? And how did you overcome these
Yeah,
dips?
I definitely did. Like well, the way I say it comes in waves, and because like you say, it's dips, and it's like that. Like I said, a couple days go by, and I say, "Oh wow, okay, this is it." I plateaued on a 10-day fast, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, "Oh God, you know, why am I feeling this way?" Or I get these weird thoughts, or I want to do this, or I mean, I thought about breaking on cooked food. I said to myself, you know what? I tried to, like I said, I didn't think once about touching drugs or alcohol, especially
Yeah.
in this situation. But I did think about reaching out for comfort food, and I was
Mm.
going to eat eat some like vegan comfort food, and I said to myself, oh, wait a minute, at this point, I'm not going to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people are wondering. Some people, because I didn't tell a lot of people this, but some people I did on the outside. And they said, hey, what do you do? You know, where do you take a shower? And like, all right, you know as well as I do, Harry, all this tap water. The shower is the gas chamber. You know, I hardly
Yeah.
let tap water ever touch my skin anyway, even when I was in my apartment. But so there's like a creek over here called Possum Creek, and
Mm.
you know, I try to go there like early in the morning or right before dusk, and I just jump in the creek, and that's what I do. I shower in there whenever I get down there. You know,
That's
that's what I've been
powwow.
doing.
That's getting the water from the creek back into your body. That pure water, anyway. Like it's
Yeah,
absorbing into your
man,
skin.
yes.
Like.
You just got to watch the alligators, though. There's a few small alligators that jump in. It's kind of
The
funny.
joys of living in Florida. In case people don't know, you're living in Florida, aren't you? So tropical,
Oh,
yeah. So you got
God.
Alligator City. Like you got to be careful. Forgot about that
There's
shit.
not that many alligators, but if you go into a natural creek, some once in a while they'll surface in there, but they won't. They're not going to bother you. They're like afraid of humans, you know.
Hmm.
And so that's what I've been doing, and yeah, it's been like pretty interesting because I got to be careful because you take off all your food. Yeah, if I get caught nude out there, they'll definitely arrest me if they see me.
Yes.
It's off the side of the road, so you really can't see that much. So I got to be quick about it, you know. But
That's
that's what I've
crazy,
been
brother.
doing. Yeah,
That's
it's been
crazy.
doing.
So,
I'm doing all right.
after your 17 days of urine, you decided to drink juice. How was the experience? What juice did you have? I'd love to know what was the emotion.
Okay,
Did you feel
so
bad
this is
after?
what I drink. This is what I get right here.
Yeah.
It's fresh squeezed. I don't know if you can see it, but it's
Yep.
fresh squeezed orange, and it says right here, warning: this product has not been pasteurized.
Right.
It can contain bacteria, and you know this is what we want. You know we want that bacteria. Nobody else does, but we do.
Warning,
And so,
dangerous. It's natural orange. Warning, it's
yeah,
natural in its raw form.
right,
Careful.
right. It hasn't been heated up. It hasn't been pasteurized.
Oh
Be
no.
careful drinking. There's a bright orange sticker on it. So they have tangerine juice here. They have orange. So one of my friends, I told the story. She sent me some money in my PayPal, and I just felt like so compelled. And I said, you know something, I'm gonna buy the juice. So after the 17th day, I relaxed. I went over there and I got some nice tangerine juice, and I started drinking that. And then that went on for a few days. That went through Christmas.
Hmm.
And I went through Christmas drinking juice. I drank orange and tangerine, and I went through Christmas. I still continued the urine, the looping a little bit here and there, and
Hmm.
then and here we are at the 27th. This is going to be my last day on juice, and tomorrow I'm going to get some fruits over there. They just I'm gonna break it on persimmons and probably like whole tangerines
Oh,
because
lovely. Yes.
yeah, 'cause it's
I don't
nice and
think many people
salty.
deserve food right now as much as you, my brother, after 17 days of urine. And how many days of juice now? Up to this point? A couple of days?
It was on like all right, so 18. It was like 5 days.
So 17 days of urine, 5 days juice, and now you're going to eat some
We're gonna
beautiful,
break
juicy
it.
fruits. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. I always eat
Oh,
fruits anyway, but like I
yeah.
said, I broke myself because like I said, I wasn't eating every day because I didn't have much money. So I was kind of getting used to the feeling of like fasting, especially intermittent fasting. Like I would go every other day, or some days I would go like sometimes I would eat 2 days and then not eat 2 more days. So I just slipped right into it, you know.
What's your opinion quickly on how to fast and that stuff you just said? Do you believe in training yourself to fast like you did for a long period of time, or do you believe that you can just go for it? Does it depend on the personality, or do people need training? Does it depend on
Well,
someone's health before they do it? Have they got a lot of
well,
toxins? How does it work, in your opinion?
Well, see, I think that, like when I first started fasting, which was like a few years ago, like, because I started hearing about its benefits, like I said, it's an art form that needs to be practiced. And you can just, like I said, you can go to the store and say, you know what, I'm going to buy all this juice and I'm going to do it 17-day juice fast. And the first night you're eating food again because you're not like, it's something that has to be practiced. You got it. Like, that's the way I would recommend it. Like, start with something you can control. Like, say, I'm going to juice for the weekend, because that's doable, so okay, that's 2 days. Friday night after my evening meal, I'm gonna juice Saturday and Sunday, and Monday morning I'm gonna break. So that's something that's doable no matter what. You can go through that. So then you get that feeling of like, if you let yourself go through it, it does go away, these feelings of hunger, if you just rest your mind and rest your body. And they do go away. The motions stop after a while. You might go through some heavy detox depending on the type of lifestyle that you live, the type of foods that you eat. I'm a fruitarian, so most of my detox symptoms were, I wouldn't say mild. A lot of it was like itchy skin and emotional. I always used to get, that was a lot of my detox, a lot of it's emotional and itchiness. I don't know, that's what I always got. But when I first started, of course, I went through like nausea, I went through bouts of insomnia, a lot of insomnia. That's part of detox too. Skin eruptions, like I said, things like that. But like I said, I'm fruitarian 6 years now.
Wow.
I can go days without food. I'm used to it. If I can't get to a meal, I'll feel hungry. I may get a little cranky, but I can handle it though. So
Yes.
it's nothing that's like so bad.
That's important.
And,
So you trained yourself over time to build yourself up, and your advice is great, I think, for people to train themselves up, but to start somewhere and do something manageable. And when you get angry or hangry, which I get to, it's okay if you
yeah,
break a fast and you keep getting to that point of hangry and keep pushing yourself a little bit every time. It gets easier, and the hangry feeling goes a little longer, and your fasting period increases. And then you can play a game called "How long can I go without as food?" And then that just helps your health and vibration and boosts your energy. And then you get to where you're at, where all of a sudden doing 17 days urine is not as big a deal as for other people. It's bloody, and even myself at this point, it's bloody impossible, right? But you can train yourself, and you've done a grand job with that one, bro. That's for sure. You proved a lot of things. I mean, if it really was a dirty day, if anyone watching this, I hope people watching this understand urine's powerful. But if anyone doesn't, then 17 days on just urine, you should be dead right by day 3 or 4, bro. You should be dead right now. You should be
if it's a
talking to
waste
us.
product,
If it's a
yeah,
waste, you should be talking.
yeah, I'll tell you this. Something that's a waste product, I'll tell you this. This waste product cured my eczema. Okay, it made, and I also want to share one thing, Harry. I want to share with the people out there that are either dabbling with urine therapy or want to start. I want to tell them the things that I do, and just so I can, if anybody wants to compare, I just want to share it with
Yes,
people.
please do.
So now,
Yes.
okay, so every single day I utilize urine therapy in my life somehow, some way. So I'll spray, like I have a spray bottle that I'll spray my face every single day. Let it air dry onto the skin.
Okay, cool. Can I just ask you how old you are, Frank? 'Cause you look young. I'm just wondering.
I'm 49.
Wow, you don't look it, and that's not me being nice. That's just the truth. Jesus, man, the urine therapy on the face works. It's working,
Yeah,
and the other stuff.
yeah. So every day for the last couple of years, I spray my face. I do the body rubs, not every day, but when I can, in circumstance. I pretty much loop, not every drop, but I'm looping at least a couple of maybe at least 16 ounces a day to 32 ounces. Like I said, not every single day. All right, now I utilize the aged Orin enemas. Also weekly, but not every day. But I'll tell you, it's been tough in tent camping to do the Enemas, but I have done a couple of them because there's like a hook. There's like a hook in the middle of the tent where I can hang the bag, and I've been making it happen. I got a 5-gallon bucket. I've been making it happen. So now, I want to share that how I utilize mine because there's so many different ways that people use the Enemas. I want to tell you the way I do mine. What I do is I fill up a whole fresh bag of fresh. Okay, and then I take that in and hold that, okay, and then release fast. And then what I do is to clean out. And then what I do is I take like 6 ounces of aged, 6 ounces of fresh, in a very small amount, and then I take that and I hold it up. And sometimes I try to hold it as long as I can. And most of the time, it'll go right to the bloodstream. And I've been finding that out. Like almost nothing would come out upon release. Or if you felt like you had to release, hardly anything would come out. So I know it got absorbed. So like that's usually the way I do the enemas usually. And like I said, I haven't been able to do that many living outside here in the tent and stuff, but I did a few of them though. And like I said, I take the aged, and I've been drinking. And that's the way I've been doing like my therapy. And I also have told you that I live in Florida, where there's a lot of trees and there's a lot of pollen here. And I noticed when I first moved here, my ears became extremely clogged, and like Harry, to a point where I almost felt hearing impaired. Like I would be struggling to hear you right now, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" So I talked to this person that was like an herbalist that I knew that was in the local neighborhood, and she told me that it's really common here if you don't live here. She said the live oak trees have all this pollen that go through the air, and they clog up your eustachian tubes in the ears.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes. So she recommended using like a carrier oil, like an olive oil and a tea tree oil, but use the olive oil as a carrier oil and drop it in your ear. And she said that pretty much clears up the bacteria and takes everything out. So now the first year, which was last year when I moved here, I tried that and it worked a little bit. At first it got worse, but it really didn't do much though. And like 6 months later, it got clogged again. So now what I did was I took my eyedropper. I have like a little eyedropper that I drop urine in my eyes every day.
Yeah.
And I put the aged Urine in my ears. I put 3 drops in each ear. I did it 2 days in a row. And by the third day, I didn't even remember that my ears were clogged. That's how fast it cured the issue.
Wow. How old is that aged urine? Just have interest. And everyone asked that question. I know someone's going to wondering on this, watching this. How old is it?
Okay. Well, I didn't want to use an age that was like a month, because you know how it stings and it burns, and like some of the skin, I don't think it would hurt, but I think it would irritate, and some of the skin inside your ears, inside your stomach, is very different from the skin on you externally. So I used like a 2 week old, and it had a pretty good like color to it, and I tasted it. It didn't taste too fermented, so I used a 2 week old, and I just dropped 3 drops in each ear. And like I said, I would wake up in the morning and my ears would be so cold, and I woke up and I said to myself, wow, you know something? I could hear. It worked so fast. I didn't even remember I had an impairment from the pollen. And I was
Right.
like, wow, this is amazing. And I drop it in my eyes almost every morning. But you can't drop aged in the eyes, because it burns like a,
Yeah,
I'm
it
sure you
does.
know it.
Yeah.
I've done it like Harry. I tried it. I dropped some age in my eyes, and I was like, oh my God, am I going to be okay? I had my eye closed for like two
Yeah.
minutes straight. And then you know what? 20 minutes later, you open your eyes, and there's no,
Like,
it's not red. They feel fine. So
no.
you know what I did? I just took that and I just drank I just drank it, because I
Drink it.
said I couldn't eat, because like I
Yeah.
said, the skin inside your eyes and the tissue is different than the skin on your body, or in your ear, especially up your nose. I have a problem with the snorting. So what
Mm.
I do is yeah, it's hard to do, but I've been practicing. I take the eyedropper and
Yeah.
I drop it, and I lay back and I drop it in each nostril, and, and bring it
Nice.
up that way. Yeah, and it's been going in, and like I said, once again, be very careful and
Mm.
go slow using aged in the nostrils, because that skin is very different from the external skin.
And painful, and agree. And by the way, have you, that burn in the eyes almost make, I've worried at times that I'm going to go blind. I mean, you don't, and you never will.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it just feels like you're going to go blind and you can't see for like a couple of minutes, and it's a bit scary. So this is only for the hardcore
Harry, you know
initiates.
what? I'll describe it like it felt like somebody threw glass in my eye, and
Yes.
I held it, and I was like, it was
Yeah.
intense.
And if you
And I
don't know
said,
anything about
whoa.
urine, you think it's a bad thing, but it's not. Oh, because like you said, after you open it, you're like, whoa, you get a new sense of vision. It's so powerful
I,
wherever this
I
medicine
was
goes.
fine. Yeah, I thought my eye was going to be bloodshot red. I looked in my eye. It was fine. There was
Yeah.
nothing. It can't hurt you. And your body will only detox to a point that your body can handle. I also learned that from a lot of the big urine therapy person, like Brother Sage and thing. Like he wants to get this mainstream, and I know he's got a long road ahead of him, but he's on a really good path, and he's getting it out there. And like
He
I've
is. Do
heard
you
a
know
lot
about
of.
do you know, Frank, quickly, and people watching, about the urine therapy conference? We started it 2 weeks ago. We did one yesterday. I've been posting on my YouTube. I don't know if you saw. We're doing it every Saturday. You're welcome to join. I'd love you to join. Anyone
Oh,
watching
you were
has
telling me
experience with
about that.
urine
Yeah.
therapy. Yeah, next Saturday, 2 weeks on Saturday, so 1 week and 6 days away. Because today's
It's on
Sunday.
YouTube. It's on YouTube, right? It's on
No,
YouTube.
no. I'll give you the link for it and the passcode, and it's a free link, and you can talk about your experiences with the urine. We're trying to get every 2 weeks now till the end of March. We're just doing this. We want it to grow big. We want you to come and talk about your experiences like you're doing now about the urine. It'd be great, and yeah, it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Bro Sage is hosting it, and we're all around the
Oh, that's
world.
good.
Everyone's around the world's
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, I learned a lot from him. Like I said, he's told me some stuff, and I learned. And he was the one that said, I was always afraid, am I going to detox to a point where I'm going to? And he said the body won't allow you to detox to a point where you can't handle. So
Right.
like it may get ugly, it might be annoying, I felt nauseous, plenty of times drinking aged, and I was like, it's just for 15 minutes, and then you were
Exactly.
able to, yeah, and it goes away, and you just know something was good. It's almost like, if you're tripping on peyote. I'm not speaking from experience, but I know you get very sick
Yeah.
before it gets really good. It gets
Right.
worse before it gets better, and you're fine after that. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's like the same exact thing. You're like, oh my God, what the hell did I just do? Am I going to be okay? And then
Exactly.
next thing you come out better than ever.
Exactly. Do you feel the breath slow down so much? You're like whoosh when you take the
Oh, yeah.
aged, or when you drink it. It's like
It's
whoa. The shift in
like,
consciousness is crazy.
as a former drinker, I mean, I could compare it to a single malt whiskey. It's 10 times better. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, man. You're not getting the effects, but like I definitely have to, like, after taking a drink of it, I'm relaxed. I got to sit down for a few minutes. I'm not just out and about. I'm soaking up the moment. It's definitely physical. You
Hell
know,
yeah, bro. Yeah.
and
How you doing with the age? Because you're in a tent at the moment. Are you still, by the way, in that tent in that lady's garage? You moved on from that place. Are you still?
Yeah,
She's.
I'm still there. Yeah, I'm still there. I'm in the garage right now because I
Yeah.
can hear you, and there's Wi-Fi. But
Mm.
yeah, I'm in the garage right now. So, but yeah, I'm still there. It's my third week there. It's
Wow,
like I
she's
said.
such a kind lady. What a beautiful soul to allow you to do that, and that's amazing. A really kind
Yeah,
people.
Yeah, she said that, a lot of people help out people over here down south. Like she
Yeah,
said, listen, you can stay back there. She said, just no fires, no campfire. I said, no. She said, you can stay back there. I won't bother you. She said, just don't, you can't come in the house. But she said, you can have access to the garage to change your clothes or whatever you want. I keep my belongings there. I got some books. I got some tools. I don't want
yeah,
to keep those out. And like I said, Harry, it's not pretty in the tent. I mean, tent
no,
camping is fun when you're on a campground, but it's pretty cold in there at night. And
yeah,
because you know what it is, your body temperature creates condensation on the inside of the tent, and that
yeah,
makes it even colder inside the tent. And so you
right,
gotta start working with opening the vents, and that kind of lets air in, and it makes it like a little bit more warmer. And when it
yeah,
rains, like if you ever been in a tent, when it rains, some of the zipper seams leak, and it's
yes.
not true.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
know
having the best.
the
I'm
challenges
not
are
having
amazing,
the
brother.
best.
By the way, I'll
Yeah.
send you send me your link after this, your PayPal link. I'll send you some money over because I really appreciate your knowledge and what you're doing. You're a fucking
You
warrior.
don't have to
And
do it.
also, I'm envious in the most beautiful, inspirational way that you're getting these powerful reference experiences. Because ultimately, Frank, you're in a position where you've been forced to do something and experience the godliness of fasting through your own circumstance. That we don't have the motivation, including myself, because I'm surrounded by food, like you said, and temptation. Now I know it's
Yeah.
good, and I've done it in the past when I've been motivated, but I'm not in that motivation state. But I could be, and we all should be, to do these things and to experiment with consciousness and all, and not to worry too, because I think that we're all being pushed and guided, and you're being guided for these experiences, just like you are to jump on here now with me to join the Urine Therapy Conference to tell other people about the power of fasting and what it can do for you. And plus, a lot of people be like, "Oh, wouldn't you worry? You haven't got a job, no money, and shit." And you're like, saying, "No, you've had those thoughts, and now you've kind of overcome those demons and thought, fuck it, life is good, life is grand. You got your health, you got your energy. That's all you fucking need, right?"
Yeah, I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong. I mean, I really would love to be in my own place, settled. I don't want to be living out here, man. And like I said, I do. The hours go by, and you do think, how long is this going to go on for? Is it
Yeah,
going to get worse? Is it going to get better? I never say what if, but like I said, you're getting myself to a higher level. Well, has been putting me in the present moment, and that's where I'm at right now. And like you said, I'm very healthy. I'm motivated. I'm intelligent. And Harry, even other good things have been coming into my. I've decided for a long time I've been wanting to write a book, and now this
yeah,
is really pushing me. Yeah, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write an autobiography. It's
nice.
not going to be. Yeah, it's not going to be an ebook. It's
Yeah,
going to be a hardcover, hard copy with
yeah,
illustration on the cover. Yeah, and
yeah,
I'm going to title the book "The Way to the Way," an autobiography by Frank Giraldi.
yeah.
And I'm definitely doing this. This is like pushing me more than ever now because this
Oh,
book idea is coming into my mind,
bro,
and this,
awesome.
it's
Yes,
a
I
part
fully
of my
support.
life. What's that?
I fully support you on that adventure. I mean, a book will be amazing. And what is it going to be like? Everything you've gone through, the experiences with the fast, but many more things because you said autobiography. So
Oh,
that means a whole entire life story in one book.
yeah, like what is you go fasting? I can think back so far, like in my childhood and my life. There are so many situations that I could write about. It's going to be humorous. It's going to be funny. It's going to be adventurous. It's going to be really good. I've been jotting some stuff down that I want to keep, and I just wanted to make an announcement to people out there about that. So I always had this
Yeah,
idea. Oh, I should write a book. People have told me, "Hey, you should write a book," and
yeah.
now I'm writing a book.
Well,
Now
you
I'm
know,
better.
I love books. I'm going to be the first to buy a book. By the way, bro, where exactly are you in South Florida? Because I have friends in South
No,
Florida.
I'm in
Sure, they'd
North
love to
Florida.
meet you.
I'm not
They'd
in
love to.
South Florida.
No,
I'm in the
where are you?
north central. I'm in the north central region, Gainesville, Florida.
Gainesville, Florida. Okay, is
It's
that
north.
near? No, it's Tampa's in the south, right? It's kind of higher than Tampa, right? Dayton, is it Dayton?
No, no.
Dayton.
It's Gainesville is right below Jacksonville. It's in the north central region.
Oh, right, North Central, so quite high up, Florida. That's quite high
Yeah,
up,
it's
isn't
right
it?
up. Yeah, I'm away from like all the beach communities and all the tourism and
Oh,
the hoopla. Yeah, I'm away from South Beach and Boynton Beach and Boca Raton. I'm all the
oh,
way up north. I live in an agricultural community. That's why I moved here. There's a
yeah,
lot of small organic farms here, a lot of like prairies and swampland, and
right.
it's really nice up here. Yeah, and there's very little people. Like no tourists move to Gainesville, Florida. Especially
Oh,
from New York. Yeah, especially from New York or the Northeast. Nobody
yeah,
moves up here. Yeah,
right,
it's an old time part of the state.
yeah.
That's where I live in the North Central region, away from all the tourism and all this
That's
stuff.
amazing. Carolina, South Carolina, is near the border, isn't it? I think, from what it said.
I'm 10 hours to North Carolina. 10 hours north of North Carolina.
Oh, north of North Carolina. Oh,
I
okay,
mean,
yeah.
I mean south. I'm
South,
sorry,
south,
south.
south. Yeah, 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 of course.
I mean south. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So like
awesome.
yeah, yeah. It took like so. If you had to drive from New York to
Hmm.
Gainesville, it's 18 hours from New York to Gainesville. It's an
All
18
right.
hour drive.
And bro,
Yeah.
by the way, when I came to USA, I did a trip from New York all the way down to Florida to meet people. I met people. I don't know if you know Brian Justice. I met people in the north, and I went down to the south on a bus. So yeah, it does take a long time to get down from New York to
Yeah,
down to Tampa. So it does take a long time on the
people
bus.
say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to drive to Florida." It's a long drive, man. And yeah, the second time I actually came here, I had to bring a lot more belongings. I had my bicycle with me and stuff. So what I
Mm,
did was I took the Amtrak train. That was a hell of an experience, man. I took
mm.
the Amtrak from New York Penn Station all the way to Jacksonville. 17
Whoa,
hours. Yeah, it was a
whoa,
long. Yeah, it was crazy, dude.
that's mad.
Yeah, I mean, I traveled on some, I've been on prop planes in Malaysia. I took puddle jumping. So I said, fuck it, let me just take the Amtrak out. It was cheap. It was like $118. And
Mm,
I got on in New York Penn Station and it went
mm.
all the way to Jacksonville, 17 hours.
That's mad.
And
And
then, yeah,
how do you find us in the communities on Instagram? Have you always been how do you get into fruitarianism and all that stuff? I mean, that's another lifestyle you can talk about. We don't have to talk about it here, but
yeah,
I mean,
I did a
curious.
couple of interviews, and most people know my story. How it started was I quit drinking alcohol 5 years ago, and I checked myself into a rehab facility for 33 days, and I did
Mm,
very well. And when I came out, it started a series of awakenings in my life, and I've always known about veganism from college friends and stuff, and I just started cleaning up my diet. I started getting more active, and that's how I discovered fruitarian. I went from veganism 8 months to raw.
mm.
And then, yeah, then I started traveling. I stayed on a raw vegan resort in the Philippines, and I really got into it. And that's how I discovered fruitarianism. And I was inspired by Mango Vodczak and Tony Wright, and guys like that are like my big inspirations. And then
Yeah.
once I found out his lifestyle, I said, okay, I'm doing this. I just love the simplicity of it, and it just took off from there. I'm very good at it. I'm able to recognize ripening processes,
Mm,
cultivars. Oh yeah, I'm very, very passionate about it, and I have a lot of experience. And if anybody wants to reach out for help
yeah.
transitioning, it's always for free. And I
Huh.
left. If you go to my page, yeah, I have my email there. You can
Yeah, where's your
email
page?
me.
Your Instagram page, I mean.
Yeah, I'm home the whole time.
Right. Huh.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
where do you know?
I'll
Sorry,
leave it
where's
to
your
you.
page? Where's your page you talking about on Instagram?
Where is it?
Yeah. Your page
I
you
don't
said
know.
before.
Yeah, I have like an Instagram page. It's home the whole time.
Oh,
That's the
sorry, that's
name.
what it's called. Yeah, I got confused a second. Of course it is. Yeah, home the whole time. That's your
Yeah,
Instagram page,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's my Instagram name, home the whole time. Yeah,
Right.
most people know me. Yeah, and like I said, you can go visit my page. I know you have. Yeah, that's what it is. If they want to visit me, and I linked my email to that if you want to ask me questions or need help with anything.
Mm,
Even with quitting alcohol, I had a
mm.
technique that I was able to get
Right.
rid of it. Yeah, and like I said, I did do a rehab facility, and I
Yeah.
came out and did very, very good. Yeah, I was determined to stop and get all the toxins out of my life and I live a completely, I'm very passionate about human health and natural living, and I live just that way.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. You're incredible inspiration to other people. I'm proud that we connected on Instagram, and now I've got
Yeah.
a fuller depth of who you are. And I hope that people that watch this have got a lot of value and sure inspiration just from the kind of lifestyle that you can lead when you, I don't know, are forced into the situation like you did, but all practice, fruitarianism, veganism, and all these little things. And your story coming from, like you said, alcohol and addictions. Often we get broken by the system, isn't it? And there's a warrior story, and you've obviously got your warrior story of why you're so passionate and why you do the things you do, and we've all been broken by the system. And thank God there's people like you in the world, man, that are really pushing the boundaries of what is possible for humanity and showing us and leading the way. And that includes inspiring for me, by the way, because I don't think I could do what I'm doing. I mean, if I was forced, I would, but I'm like, some of us are
Yeah,
just too lazy, man.
yeah, the reason is, what it's like I said, Harry. It's not only so much that it's forced, but like I was always a person that was
Mm,
very adaptable. I was always very adaptable. So like wherever you put me, I'll find a way to be comfortable. I don't complain a lot. So I
mm,
was easy. So I could adapt to almost any environment, and that's why it came a little bit easier to me. Like some people, like listen, believe me, I'd rather be warm than cold at night. I got to put on my running tights. I got to layer up. I got to put on and go underneath but still, like I said, I don't complain. Like I said, I became very adapted to it for now, and this is what I'm doing now. And Harry, every time I do one of these lives, I
mm.
always send out words of wisdom to the people that are viewing the live interview, and I want to do just that. And
Yes.
like today, I have like to say, I just want to say to people out there right now, I know we're in bad times. And if you're struggling, or even if you're not, even if you're living a good life, I don't believe in any mistakes, you know, because I went through a lot of times in these past few weeks thinking about if I did something wrong to put myself in this situation, or maybe I should have did this right or differently. But you know what? I don't believe in any mistakes. I just believe in choices that you make, and you learn to live with the consequences of those choices. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to say to people out there. You know, don't beat yourself up. There's no mistakes. There's only choices, and you learn to live with the consequences. You know, and that's my
That
advice to people. You know, that's what I'll say.
That I
Because,
need
like I
to
said,
breathe. I need to breathe on that one, bro. Oh, I need to. We all need to hear that, man. There is
everybody,
mistakes.
you
Yeah.
know, everybody says, "Oh, you made a mistake." Like even my family, they were like, "Well, you had a job in New York. You shouldn't have moved to Florida." But I said, "You know what? There is no mistakes. They're only choices, and I'm living with those choices, and that's it. That's the way it is. You know, you know, nothing is real anyway. You know what? I'm gonna wake up from this one day, and we're gonna laugh about this. You know, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it puts you in a totally different level of. I thought I was in a different level of consciousness as a fruitarian.
Yeah.
Now I'm in a completely different level of consciousness. And like I said, you do
Yeah.
think days go by. It is strange. Like even like my mood, I'm in a strange mood all the time. You do stop and say, I can't believe I'm living this way. I can't believe I'm homeless. You
Mm.
know, as bad as that word may seem, you know what? It's really not so bad. I'm not going to freeze to death. I know I'm not going to starve to death. You know, like I said, I'm already doing okay. You know, things will get better. You know,
Nah. Yeah.
I've been panhandling to earn some money on the street. So I've been like, I made a sign. You know, I got evicted. You know, I lost my job. You
Mm.
know, please can you help me? And people give some money just to cover my basic needs. I've been doing that. I don't like to do it every day. It takes a lot out of you mentally. You know. But
Mm.
I've been doing that to earn a couple of bucks, you know, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I'm doing okay, you know.
Yeah.
I know something's gonna break, you know. Either I'm gonna find work somewhere. Like I'm a licensed electrician, you know, and
Are
like
you?
you know,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah. So people, yeah, but like nobody wants people working in their homes. So I
Mm.
can't get jobs. Like nobody
Mm.
wants because of COVID. Or you got to wear a mask. You know, when I
Right.
go into the yeah, I don't wear a mask. I'm not wearing no mask. You know, so you know, nobody, you know, don't want a strange person coming into their house. So I haven't been able to find side work. But like occasionally somebody will tell me, hey, you know, you want to clean out my shed? You know, I'll give you $75 and I'll do
Mm.
that to earn some money, whatever. But like I said, it's not paying the bills, but it's taking care of my basic needs. I mean, I had to sacrifice a lot though, Harry. I had impeccable credit before
Mm.
this started. I had an 800 credit score for like a decade. That's
Mm.
completely gone right now. It went downhill
Mm.
because I couldn't make the minimum payments on my credit card.
Mm.
You know, and I'm not happy about that, but you know what? I'm dealing with it, man, you know?
Yeah, you're an incredible human being, man, doing so much and getting such powerful reference experiences and really going through the tough levels of duality and experiencing the money. I've known this for a while. Money ain't everything, bro. And you're really in that place where you're like, oh shit, well, here's the other options I've got. The money might not be coming in, but I've got my health. I've got these other things to explore. And you just live in a lifestyle, quite frankly, that many people should be envious of. But that, you know, and that's fucking awesome to you. Props to you. Listen, I can't wait to read your book. I definitely support you on that, and
I'm
I think
going
you're an
to start
amazing human
working
being.
on it.
And beyond that, yeah, please do, my friend. And if you need my support, whatever, just message me and shit. And beyond that, I'd love to meet you too. And I'm sure if anyone's around the Florida area, then hit him up at home the whole time and meet up with him. But I'm gonna meet you when I come up to. I'm sure you're gonna be around. If not, I'm gonna go west to east coast. I'm going everywhere, bro. So we'll meet up
No,
in the
I'll
future.
travel
Like,
anywhere. No, you can take an Amtrak to any city in Florida. I can get around on the Red Coach. You know,
yeah,
there's a tour bus. Yeah, I've gone to Miami. You can go to many cities here.
that's
You know,
amazing.
yeah, it's easy to get around in Florida. So you know, hopefully I'll have some money. Like I'm going to work on this book as long as I get to a laptop. You know, like I got to get a laptop. You know, and I can
Mm.
start working on the book. You know, I only have access on my phone now, and that's minimal. Like I said, I barely was able to make the bill this month. You know, like I said, I hope things get better. But like I said, somehow we'll keep in touch. You know, I think I'm going to be all right though. You know, I'm thinking positive. I'm confident. You know,
You will be, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, and
healthy. You know,
you
healthy
got support
lifestyle.
everyone here too watching, and you got support of the communities, and the communities are incredible. I found the communities are so generous. They're so generous to people.
Yeah, they really are. They definitely are. I've been receiving a lot of emotional help and mental help as well as physical help from the community. And I think it's really important, you know, if people are transitioning and want to live a lifestyle of, you know, whether it's veganism, vegetarianism, whatever it is, you
Mm.
know, I think community is so important because
Yep.
there's such a few percentage of people living, this way, which I say is the right way. And,
Mm.
and without that community, it's really hard to stay on top of it. I mean, like I would say in the past 10 years, there's so many vegan choices now in restaurants and wherever you go that it was before 10 years ago. But, what I'm saying is that community is very, very important, to keep motivation, to ask questions, to help. And like you said, for even just for emotional support if you need it.
It's huge.
And
I've
I'm
learned that this year.
really,
I've learned
yeah,
that this year.
definitely.
My biggest lesson is from psychedelics and all the things I do is connection's everything. It's not about the materialistic outside bullshit and what we've got, bro. It's connection. That's all that matters. Relationships and connection and support. That's it. Like that's all that matters, man. And you've got
Yeah.
it. You've got the support of everyone, and you're doing amazing. And you're an inspiration to other one because of course people want to support you because you're an inspiration. So an incredible human. So yeah, man.
Yeah, Harry, thanks a lot. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, so thanks for joining me, Frank. It's a pleasure. If anyone wants to message you and for help or whatever to support you, then your Instagram is home the whole time, and that's all one
Yeah,
word, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, you know what it is, Harry. You know my Instagram. You can put it on your page or whatever, or I'll run
Okay.
it on my story. Home the whole time.
Home the whole time. And
And
yes, let's keep in contact, Frank. And I support you, and everyone supports you. So keep doing what you're doing, brother. And I really wish that everything goes well for you, and you find what you need to get you to the next level of your consciousness. If you can go any more, because I know you can go higher than what you're doing, bro. Is that there's no limits. And yeah, I love you very much. I support you.
all right, thanks a lot, Harry. I appreciate it, bud.
Hey, thanks. So let's take up Harry with Frank, and everyone have a lovely day. Thank you very much. Bye. Bye, man.